to clean soil. So really what we're trying to do here, and what we're hopefully going to launch this dialogue here that you guys will take well beyond these walls, is to have that sort of discussion of how do we make it clear that we as individuals have these fundamental environmental rights. We have the right to sustainable water sources, sustainable energy, and sustainable food systems, and sustainable waste disposal systems. We have the right to sustainable natural climate and natural communities, and ecosystems have the right to thrive. And so these are all fundamental rights that when you look at the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, the Endangered Species Act, it's so detailed that we've sort of lost our way from the standpoint of, wait a minute, you may have a win here, a win there, but are these basic fundamental rights actually being protected? And at the end of the day, really no matter how you look at it, we're not. We're not doing an adequate job of really protecting those rights. So the first thing that we're talking about here, and what we started talking about at the Task Force on the Environment, was we have to make clear to everyone that those rights are our rights. And so it, in essence, becomes a human rights and environmental rights movement. And you're going to hear a lot more about that with the subsequent speakers. But that affirmation, which may sound overly simplistic to you, is absolutely critical to moving forward in this arena. So Santa Monica needs to move their environmental protection efforts to the next level, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit. And the reason why we're doing it in Santa Monica is because Santa Monica has really been, in the state of California, the foremost progressive environmental leader in the state. It doesn't mean we're perfect in any way, shape, or form. We can all talk about Santa Monica traffic. We can all talk about a wide variety of different environmental issues that affect us each and every day. But I defy you to find another city that's tried to do more and actually succeeded in doing more on environmental protection than the city of Santa Monica. So that's one of the reasons where we felt like moving forward with something different, progressive, that really looks at environmental rights in a different way. The city of Santa Monica is really the right place to move this forward. Now, to remind everybody about that history, in 1994, the city of Santa Monica passed their first Sustainable City Plan. They renewed that Sustainable City Plan in 2003. And there's an understanding of sustainability in Santa Monica that's really unlike almost any other city that you run into. That sustainability is a lot more than just environmental protection and environmental health. And for that, obviously, it's been pretty extraordinary what they've done. Now, what they haven't done is, you're not seeing a whole bunch of other cities in the region moving forward with sustainable city plans. The other thing is, even the success itself in the Sustainable City Plan, by city staff's own admission, because every other year they do a very critical self-analysis on how well they're actually meeting the goals, metrics, objectives of that Sustainable City Plan, is not as good as it needs to be. We're not meeting the goals and objectives of that plan, as ambitious as they may be. And one of the major reasons why is that for the last 17 years, that plan has largely been voluntary. And so in some areas, usually led by the city itself and what they've done, there's actually been tremendous success. The city commitment to environmental protection includes new procurement policies, bans of things like foam packaging and plastic bags, Measure V to clean up water pollution, enhance local water supplies, Solar Santa Monica, green building ordinances, groundwater cleanup, taking on big oil and other polluters, and so much more. So there's a long legacy of success in Santa Monica on environmental issues. But overall, if you look at the Sustainable City Plan, there are many, many areas that we have not achieved. And I think that's very, very important to note, that after 17 years, it's time to move from voluntary to creating accountability to moving this city towards a more sustainable city. And so we need to meet sustainable city goals, and we need to provide residents, students, visitors, and workers with these basic environmental rights. And so what the Task Force on the Environment decided to do, working with partners you're about to hear from, is, for the sake of hopefully moving it forward to City Council, is we came up with a draft ordinance. And within that draft ordinance, it's sort of a combination of the rights of nature, which you're going to hear a lot about. It's building on the success of the Sustainable City Plan, which has been in place for 17 years, and it's obviously widely accepted and has been adopted by City Council. So there's nothing in there that should really be, a big problem for City Council to support. And also these fundamental environmental rights that we're saying are all so important to each and every one of us. And so that's what the combination is within this ordinance. And it's been very, very interesting. We've spent about a year on this, so it's not a matter of just rushing to it. There's been a number of public meetings where we've talked about it. This is the first meeting where I think a draft has been made available yet. Our hope is to introduce it to the City Council, and that it leads to further dialogue, and somewhere down the line, City Council would adopt a sustainability Bill of Rights. The first meeting where this will actually be broached at City Council is on January 24th. So at a minimum, there'll be sort of a discussion of this concept, the same way you're hearing tonight, but obviously a lot more abbreviated, on saying, look, we need to get to that place where our fundamental environmental rights are stated, and that we as a city make sure that no corporation and their corporate rights supersede our basic environmental rights. That's what this is really all about, is that we've had a total twist in priorities where our fundamental rights to clean water and clean air somehow have been superseded by basic corporate rights. And that just is wrong and unfair, and we've all seen the results, obviously not here just in Santa Monica, but far more importantly, our hope is that Santa Monica serves as an example for the rest of the region, the rest of the state, and the rest of the nation on a different approach to environmental protection, because the current approach is not working well enough to protect those rights.